Hi, it's Aubrey Shepard with John Rule on the 8th of April 2013. And John is always at World Peace Wetland Prairie since 2005 every year for Earth Day. Hope you'll be there this year. The day before, you'll get to see this sign out there, and then you'll see some other signs and things of interest on peace, justice, ecology, and the environment in general. Let's see some photos from Fayetteville, John. Some of these are native wildflowers, and some of them are things that everybody plants in their yard, and others are invasive species that really should not be here. But our yards are full of all of them, and people who haven't mowed get to see a lot more wildflowers.
Like phlox.
Looks like phlox, and it's an early blooming type, and it's not all that tall. And there's a non-supported type of, okay, what do you say?
Looks like a violet to me. There are many kinds.
Many kinds. I don't know a bird's foot violet from the less popular ones.
Well, I do. Those are violas. They live up on the wooded slopes and pretty deep leaves, and kind of dry and well-drained slopes.
Well, these are on the flat ground. Looks like some of my cropped versions today.
Bottoms are good yard type soil, so quite a bit of natural compost in it.
I have a feeling maybe that all the pictures I cropped may not have all appeared on this show, but we'll get to some that aren't cropped in a minute, and maybe somehow magic will happen and they'll appear later, the ones we're talking about, because these that I've cropped, trying to get you a close-up view of the interior of the flower, and they're really nice up close. You get to see the interior design of the flower.
I notice the honeybees are coming up with hot orange pollen on their foreheads from working the yard weeds that are all brought from Europe.
Oh, really?
Well, the yard weeds we recognize, like henbit and chickweed and all
dead nettle and a lot of things, yeah. And
it's a nice sign to see that.
It's just good to have a native or two pop up in there, and that's why I tell people, well, please don't mow, particularly for the violets right now. The violets are going to be very important for fritillary butterflies.
Well, they could be used by humans because the vitamin C content in a couple of violet leaves is supposed to be more than an orange.
Okay, here's a photo from Martin Luther King Boulevard where there's some infill going on. You see they've dug it out. That's wetland. You see the strip of dark soil at the top where they've dug? Well, that's the natural soil layer down along MLK in Fayetteville, and those guys are fixed to work over it. Okay, these are the pictures I made latest on this afternoon, and that's World Peace Wetland Prairie, of course. And you see some of the jonquils and tulips there, and you may not see the ones that are cropped up close, but now that one's, I think that's full size. And so they're red and yellow tulips, and these are some that Cindy Cope provided from her frequent years of donating bulbs to make Fayetteville beautiful, keep Fayetteville beautiful, and so forth. So that gives you the interior, and once again, I would say this one I didn't crop, so it's going to work naturally, and the ones I did crop possibly will get on here if the technician can adjust that situation for us. But I like the inside. You're not seeing many insects on the flowers yet, but in a few weeks you'll see a lot more. And
I've noticed quite a bit of a burst of activity just in the last day or two down in that frog because of it's a little warmer, and it's the same elevation, but it's surrounded by steep mountains right close, so it makes a lot of difference, sort of both a frost pocket and a warmer or hotter situation.
Well, what kind of violet there? Is that the same kind of showed before, you think?
I don't know. I don't know what kind that is. I'm not.
I wish I knew all I'd like to know about them because it's wonderful. And like I say, fritillary butterflies lay their eggs on them and the caterpillars eat them. So just like we talk about the monarch caterpillars have to eat milkweed, a lot of the fritillary species have to eat this. What do you think? That's foliage, I believe. Just the top of that's a woody plant. Can you recognize it?
Yes, it looks, I don't know, it's opening up about like a tiny oak or something, but it can't be. It must be something quite different.
Yeah.
I notice salmon pink, huge buds of young hickories now are just in their beautiful stage down there.
Well,
young hickory sprouts.
that's good to know. We need the trees because the hickories provide for butterflies and moths,
Lots of
and
food.
all the trees do. I mean, all the native trees are important, but we just focused on violets maybe a little too much, but there are other good plants in there. Till next time, this is Arbor Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, the woods green. And watch for John to speak on the 20th in the Fayetteville Library in the afternoon. See you. Hello, it's Aubrey Shepherd on the 11th of April 2013. We've got photos mostly from the first day of Farmers Market on the square in downtown Fayetteville to look at. And I want to mention Earth Day at World Peace Wetland Prairie is coming up on the 21st of April, Sunday afternoon, 1 to 5 p.m. And also, that's Andy Lucas and Shirley Lucas, who spent, 8 years on city council. Okay, there's some friends from Fayetteville, and the woman that left and the man in the center, their dad, who was a dentist, is retired now, but anyway, he owned those apartments on the Rocher Heights hillside that were flooded by the construction work uphill. They thought that was pretty sad for Dad. Anyhow, also on the 20th, John Rule will be speaking and will be sharing his granddaughter's video about his life, something very interesting and enlightening that I think everybody will enjoy. Well, there are a couple of members of Omni Center and various other local organizations visiting it down on the town center area. And there's a couple there. She's on the phone, so he's holding each of the drinks that belong to each of them. There's our frequent photographed masseur, and he gives massages on the square. Okay, here comes some friends and mother-daughter team there. Get them up close. And of course, we'd love to get those family things. Lionel Jordan, the mayor, is showing us a free card he's got to give out on the square and other places maybe, where he goes to help subsidize your recycling your electronic waste products, such as computers and so forth. And of course, it costs you $5 or whatever. Those get you a freebie, I believe. If you turn in something down at the county for recycling, it costs money to get this stuff done and safely, and not go in the landfill, not waste the parts and that kind of thing. But also, I want to warn against just automatically trashing things like usable computers and phones and so forth, because there are people who can use them. So you don't need to pay to have them destroyed necessarily if they have some life left or parts that can be recycled. Be sure they're going somewhere they will be recycled, reused. And I know the senior center sent some to be recycled the other day, but at least one of those computers was still quite usable and simply got in with the rest of the batch. So like I say, you can see vendors in the background, and my favorite things are some of these family groups and some of the vendors up close showing what they have. That's the Burr Oak Farm Blueberry booth. And of course, they sell some other things like big trees, I believe, in that bunch. And you just get these people having great conversations. And wish you could do video of all of them and have them on short takes. Maybe we'll get some of that done here pretty soon. And here's a different booth. And notice that people have their, some of them have those displays of their certification that they are organic food growers and so forth. That's Blue Boy Orlis. Blue Boy Orlis band was popular back in the 90s. And Orlis, Glenn Wheeler, lives up in Springdale, but he gets down to Fayetteville a little bit for music and whatnot. That's a brown thrasher at World Peace Wetland Prairie, and that is Norton, a cat belonged to one of our neighbors. She disappeared a few years ago, but for some reason, the cat she'd jump up on my shoulders, and there she had jumped up on the back fence of World Peace Wetland Prairie, looking out over Pinnacle Wet Prairie. And I was just lucky to get that shot. Got 2 shots of her hanging there. Just showed you one up. Till next time, this Arbor Shepherd asks you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green. And remember the 20th, 21st, 22nd, a lot of Earth Day celebrations going on, especially at World Peace Wetland Prairie Public Library and so forth. See you.